The Lucas Championship fight is on like Donkey Kong. Surprising winners and contenders at the National Open. Bobby Pierce got busted, and a well-known sprint car driver to watch during silly season proceedings. Let's go. It's Sunday, October 5th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. When it comes to Kubota, shortcuts just won't cut it. Bring your equipment to them for thorough inspections and unparalleled service. Kubota prides itself on quality and efficiency, and their service team will be getting you rolling again using genuine parts. Don't settle for less. Choose the best for your Kubota. With their service, you're not just getting maintenance, you're investing in the longevity of your equipment. The Kubota team is committed to ensuring your machinery is reliable, efficient, and ready for any challenge. Join the Kubota family today and experience service you can trust. Contact your local Kubota dealer to book your service appointment now. To find a Kubota dealer, open the My Kubota app and tap the dealers button at the bottom or visit KubotaUSA.com. Rolling into the Pittsburgher 100 weekend, I thought it was likely that Ricky Thornton Jr. would grab a couple of podiums, a couple of top fives, and we'd head to the Dirt Track World Championship at Eldora in a few weeks with this Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Championship really all but decided. But things went the complete other direction thanks to a flat tire on Friday night for RTJ. He managed to salvage a ninth place finish and was fourth last night, but a big weekend from Devin Moran has seen things change in a big way. Moran winning on Friday and finishing third last night turned Thornton's 80-point lead now into a 15-point deficit with just the Dirt Track World Championship left. This now sets up an epic showdown between Moran and RTJ for that Lucas title at Eldora in 2 weeks. Thornton did win the World 100 this year at Eldora, but I don't know that I give either driver a real big edge in this one. Maybe a slight tip towards RTJ just because of that world score. But we've seen both run well at Eldora, and we've seen both run not so well at Eldora. This feels like it's about as close to a coin toss as we'll get. Last week on a Q&A show, I got asked about what tight championship battles were, happening around the country, and if there was anything similar to High Limit. Lucas now easily tops that list, as we'll now have effectively what we've had the last 2 seasons previously with Lucas, and that's a winner-take-all showdown at Eldora. I know a lot out there don't love the chase and the playoff formats and all that stuff, but the setup has certainly done its job, creating insane drama for the finale. As for the other 2 chasers, Hudson O'Neal, he is out. A 25th place finish has him 365 points back. That is, you cannot overcome that. And Jonathan Davenport winning last night does keep him in contention, at least mathematically. He trails by 115 points with just the finale left. What it means, though, is to win the title, he'd need both RTJ and Moran to finish 20th or worse to win the championship if he wins. That would be made a bit easier by a quick time for JD because that's worth another 10 points. I don't want to completely rule him out given his prowess at Eldora, but it's a tough hill to climb for him. So Lucas teams now get the next weekend off before the 2025 season ends, and I'll be curious to see who gets out in races and who just stays home to polish on their stuff. The Outlaws are at Boot Hill for good money with comp cams. There's $10K to win at Dixie, plus Fall Nationals at Wheatland. RTJ's Facebook page says he's taking the weekend off, so we'll see who else follows suit. At Williams Grove for the National Open, I would have lost a lot of money betting this weekend because there's no way I would have called Chase Dietz getting his first Grove win of the season against the Outlaws. He'd been, had some solid runs at the Grove this year, but no wins, and he had to track down Carson Macedo late to do it after starting in 4th. And not only was it a posse win, it was a posse podium sweep. Lance Deweese and Danny Dietrich finishing 2nd and 3rd. Deweese hadn't run that high against the Outlaws since he won the National Open back in 2022. And to continue that didn't see this coming theme, Sheldon Haudenschild beating Bill Baylog late for the $75,000 last night, also not on the bingo card. Baylog led 35 laps from the pole before sliding back to 3rd late, but he'd never before finished top 5 against the Outlaws at the Grove. His 2 previous top 5 finishes there were against the All-Stars and during weekly action way back in 2018. Over his previous 7 Grove starts, 6 were runs of 22nd or worse with just a single top 10, a 9th in a National Open last year. And Haudenschild hadn't won at the Grove since 2021. He hadn't won the season since a May 31st score at Red River Valley. Sheldon leading the final 5 laps and just holding off Baylog and a charging Danny Dietrich at the flag. Dietrich hasn't won an Outlaw show himself since 2019, but he's got to feel good, pretty good leaving this weekend with 2 podium runs. There was a scary moment last night for Carey Madsen at the start of the B main. Something appeared to maybe break in the TSR 15 with Madsen in turn 4, and that car turned violently right and hit the outside guardrail hard. Madsen, though, was quickly out of the car to survey the damage. Definitely one of the harder impacts we've seen this season. The Outlaws stay in the Northeast for another week with New Egypt and Lincoln up next this coming weekend. Flipping back to late models, the World of Outlaws Late Model Series made a trip west with weekend stops at 81 and Humboldt in Kansas. On Friday, Dennis Erb Jr. was there to take advantage when early leader Chase Youngins appeared to just spin all by himself while leading. Erb took over on the restart and won his first Outlaw show since 2023. The 2022 series champ hadn't had an easy go in recent years, but he's been better since June. He only led laps in a single Outlaw race in 2024, but he's led in 3 of his last 14 races currently. He topped Dustin Sorensen and Brian Shirley. Last night at 81 Speedway, Tim McCready pushed by early leader Shirley on lap 6 and never looked back, picking up $20,000 and his 5th Outlaw win this year. Shirley and Nick Hoffman joined him on the podium. Shirley ended up being the beneficiary when pole sitter and championship leader Bobby Pierce was sent to the tail before the feature had even started. Shirley promoted from his original 3rd starting spot to that pole position. We found out right as the field was set to get lined up that series director Steve Francis was sending the 32 to the back, with the reason given the team made unapproved adjustments in the staging lanes. Dirt on Dirt reported that Pierce's team made a tire pressure change to the car, but at that point in the night, any changes are not allowed per the rule book. Under racing event procedures in the Outlaw rules, section O, subsection Q, it reads, quote, once the staging horn has been blown, no work can be completed within the staging lane, past the cones, or in the designated staging area as defined by World Racing Group officials, unquote. If the horn had been blown and the car was in that area, it seems a pretty cut and dry situation to me. Pierce ended up driving back to 11th after finishing 4th the night before at Humboldt. Pierce's charge keeps the points lead at 108, though, over Hoffman with just 5 race nights left. Other weekend late model winners included Ryan Unzicker and Ashton Winger with Mars at Fairbury. Tyler Erb swept MSCCS action at Greenville this weekend, bagging $5,000 and $10,000 wins. Max Blair and Carson Ferguson split rush wins at the Pittsburgher. Blair also with a pair of podiums in Lucas action. Michael Chilton took down $10,000 with Ironman at Mudlick, and Corey Hedgecock topped the Southern Thunder Series at Sonoya. Other weekend sprint car winners included Brady Bacon and Aaron Reitzel in Power Eye action at Lee County. That was Bacon's first wing sprint car win of the season on the heels of a podium with High Limit at Path Valley. And after parting with the KCP ride earlier in the week, Emerson Axum was back in the Klossmeyer Petrie car. He finished 4th and 2nd against Power Eye. KCP struggled at the Grove with new driver Corey Eliason, who was 24th on Friday and missed the feature last night. Justin Grant won with the USAC Sprint Cars at Terre Haute on Friday. He beat CJ Leary and a charging Ricky Lewis. USAC heads to Lawrenceburg later this week with Kyle Cummins still well in control of the title. Ryan Bernal was a CRA winner at Mojave Valley. Joe Trenka won with the Empire Super Sprints at Fulton. Tim Kading won the Sprint Car Challenge Tour show at Tulare. Cole Duncan topped fast at Atomic, and Trevor Klein grabbed the Extreme Outlaw Midget win at Jacksonville. In NARC action at Tulare, Tanner Holmes picked up a dominant win, leading all 30 laps from the pole. He topped Sean Becker and Justin Sanders. This was Holmes' first weekend back in the Tarleton 21 after spending the summer driving his family's 18T. Remember, Holmes started the year in the 21, then got out of it when James McFadden came here, and now he's back in it to finish the season. That was NARC win number 3 of his career, and we've seen the NARC championship tighten up with Becker now just 7 points behind DJ Netto with 3 races left. Holmes also ran the night's SCCT program in a second Tarleton 21, but was DQ'd after qualifying for being 15 pounds light at the scales. He was then trying to fight his way back all night, charged from 18th to 10th in that main event. Holmes could be an interesting one to watch in sprint car silly season stuff over the next few weeks and months. His name's bubbled up as a possible driver for a big ride or two, and it would make sense given his continued improvement and big following. Top 5s and top 10s with the Outlaws and High Limit this season. He's got the 2 NARC wins, plus 2 360 scores. An interesting stat for Holmes, this has been his best sprint car season to date, and he's currently earned more prize money this season, according to SprintCarRatings.com, than drivers like Emerson Axum, Carey Madsen, PPM, Cap Henry, Chris Windham, Hunter Schoenberg, Chase Randall, and Troy Wagaman, who just won the Williams Grove track title. And a bunch of those guys, they've got more starts than does Holmes. Looking at that top 30 on the money list, which Holmes is in, he's one of maybe 2 or 3 drivers who could be available for looking teams for 2026. That's it for the show today. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday out there. We will see you right back here tomorrow.